Hi, welcome back to the garden. And this weekend we broke ground on our new raised bed garden. So it actually came about because we need to put an extra downspout for the storm drain system. We live in a rainforest, so managing the water around the house is really important. Anyway, so we had to dig a hole, and I don't know if you remember from previous videos, but this all used to be a concrete slab. And over time, I think it was about 30 years old, that it just like cracked and stuff. So because we had to dig into it anyway and take it out, we had to get an excavator in, and we thought that we would just do the whole thing. And that was actually amazing because we have plans for a few different raised beds in here, and we wouldn't have been able to really do it on top of the concrete because they wouldn't have been deep enough. Anyway, but I wanted to show you around. I wanted to show you what we've done so far and what the plan is going forward. So the truck was here on Monday, and yeah, so the truck was here on Monday, and it was like amazing watching it work. It actually gave me the impression that some of the concrete was lighter than it was, and then I went to move a piece that wasn't even that big, and it was like way too heavy. Anyway, he made like pretty quick work of it. I think it was like an hour. So he took away all the concrete, and we basically made like a big pile. And with concrete, because it uses so much energy to make it, I don't know, it seems like it's not very environmentally friendly. So I didn't love the idea of just sending it to landfill or sending it all to landfill. Plus it's kind of expensive to dump it. So I wanted to use as much of it as possible. So after he took it up, he made like a giant pile, and I basically showed him like the size of pieces that I could manage. So he took away all the bigger ones, and he took them to the dump. And then all the smaller pieces, I'm gonna arrange as like a flagstone pathway. So I made like a little mock-up of what I want the space to look like, and I'll show you. For now, we made it just a temporary flagstone pathway. Part of it was because I wanted to practice arranging the stones and also just see how like easy or hard it is. I was surprised with the flagstones, with the concrete, how it made like pretty good flagstones. I think part of it is that they're all like roughly the same thickness. So I think the only thing I'll have to do is like, once everything's filled in, I'll go over it. Hopefully a rake will be enough. But yeah, just like kind of stomp it all down and make it as level as I can. And then I have some paint that we were using as like paint samples for something. So I was thinking of even maybe bringing in a little color. It depends on how fancy I want to get, or if it even needs it, because they're all pretty aged. But I thought just like adding a few like streaks or something, making them look a little more rock-ish would be pretty cool. So I made this one, and it was mostly because the dogs kept tracking mud in the house, and we did as well, because it's like so kind of just like dirt-y here. Anyway, so just like a little temporary path, but it was surprisingly like straightforward, and there's such variety in the pieces that we have that I think when the time comes, it will be pretty cool. So the first path will be from the front door down, and then I'll tilt the camera, but the other veggie beds that we already have are over there. So it's all kind of the same general area. So I want to do one pathway coming down like this, and then one crossing like that, basically. And then there's a few different things. So I want to do two big L-shaped beds. Each of them will be 4 feet wide. So there'll be one here that's 12 feet by 8 feet like that. And then one over here that's 12 feet by 6 feet. There was a little less room here, and I wanted to leave room to go down to the crawl space and stuff. But yeah, so those will kind of frame the whole area in. And then next to this L-shaped one, I want to do a table over here, just kind of like picnic table style. So something that you can like hose down easily, and you know, both for sitting out here for like eating, and also for using to like pot things up and stuff. So I'm not just like squatting in front of the wheelbarrow. And then on this side, I wanted to do like a maybe like a prop bed or even something. Basically, this side faces north by northeast, so it gets good morning light, and then that's it. So there's certain situations or certain stages of plant growth where those conditions are really good, and because it's sheltered by the house, it doesn't get as cold. There's no wind, so I think it might be a good like nursery type bed. And up until this point, when it was all just concrete, I just had like an army of pots out here, like little plastic grow pots with all the different things I was propagating. So it might be nice to have like a central area for that. And then this side, I'm also really excited about because I wanted to do like a workbench slash maybe potting bench. And the tap here has hot and cold water. So I was actually thinking it would be cool to have like a sink as well. And then it'll just be like easy to like rinse off the pots and stuff like that without having to bring them inside or, you know, make a mess elsewhere. So anyway, we'll see exactly what that looks like, but I was thinking some kind of a bench, maybe with a shelf under it, and then we could still put things underneath. And then once the beds all go in, we're gonna get a big load of like the red bark mulch stuff. I don't know. There's a company nearby. There's a lot of logging on the island. So there's a company nearby that makes like the telephone pole type pillars. So they basically like shave the tree trunks. And then all those shavings, they like sell for really cheap. So I think it's $15 for a yard, which I think is pretty good. It's like less than half of what we've paid elsewhere. So anyway, so we were thinking of having that just be like the ground layer, at least to begin with. So yeah, so that's where we're at so far. So I actually have the wood to build the beds, or at least like the 2 big L beds from the trees that we harvested earlier this year. So that's amazing. I would need extra for some of the other things and for the table. Oh, one thing that I totally forgot, which is really important and really exciting, is that I'm gonna connect the 2 L-shaped beds in the middle with like a pergola. So I was thinking maybe about 8 feet tall, really simple, and we have the wood for it too, so that's amazing. The bed on my right gets amazing sun pretty much all day. So I was thinking of making that the herb bed, and I've sown so many herbs, so I need somewhere to be able to put them. So I was thinking that for there, and then this side having mostly tomatoes, have that be kind of the main tomato bed. And then for the trellis, I was thinking like cucumbers, maybe a couple flower vines because it's hard to resist, but mostly, yeah, for just like climbing vines of things. So yeah, really excited about that too. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Still a lot of work to do, but the plumber's coming soon to do the downspout. So once that's in place, we can put all the dirt back in. That'll automatically make it better. And then I can start chipping away at the main flagstone paths and then start building the beds. Anyway, I'll take you along for the journey, but I was really excited that we actually like got it started. So I wanted to show you around. But yeah, I'll keep you posted on how it goes, and I'll catch you next time.